Alright, in this video we're checking out another 5-inch freestyle drone from HGLRC. This is the Sector 5 V2 and freestyle because it's got a top mounted battery. Interesting frame, kind of a longer section here in the back, and you have your video transmitter back there. Flight controller, ESC in the middle. That's pretty typical. 25mm standoffs, so not super low profile. It's pretty standard, I would say average. They have an HGLRC camera here in front. It's the Aurora V2. You'll see that in the foot demo. It's an interesting image. Not the best camera in the world, but yeah. Well, it's an okay camera. It could be better. This model comes in two versions, a 4S version and a 6S version. The only difference between the two versions is the motor, and this one here is the 6S version. 2306 1600 kV motors for this one. The 4S version comes with 2450 kV motors. The stack is the same in both models and the camera. So you have an F7 flight controller and a 32-bit 4-in-1 ESC. These are both 30x30 components. The F7 flight controller has a dual gyro, but it's the one with either, you can pick one or the other. It's not the one with two active at the same time. So you have a ICM gyro, or you can use the MPU 6000 gyro. The 32-bit ESC is it's a continuous 60 amps on 4S and continuous 40 amps on 6S, and it does burst up to 70 amps. So it is 32 bits. So you could potentially run RPM filter on this setup. The video transmitter in the back there is a TRAMP protocol, power switchable from 0, 25 up to 400 milliwatts, and that's also a 30x30 board. And I believe, yeah, 20x20 holes are also available on this particular frame if you happen to want to get the frame to do your own build. In terms of the frame itself, you got 5mm thick arms, and they're 10mm wide, so kind of skinny, but it's pretty strong. I mean, had a few crashes in grass and absolutely no damage whatsoever. Could potentially run a bottom mounted battery as well here, if you run a battery strap on the bottom, but I'm not sure who would want to actually do that. You have a lot of space here on top. There was a Gopro Mount, 3D printed Gopro Mount that was included here that I didn't use because the angle was just way too high, so I just put my GoPro on here and used a battery strap to hold it down, and then I used some foam pieces to prop it up here like this, and just matches the camera angle that is here. And then that's why you'll see some GoPro footage later. But yeah, it does include a GoPro mount, but I think that the included mount is pretty aggressive. It's almost a 45-degree angle, and I prefer a slightly lower angle for freestyle GoPro footage, somewhere in the 30 to 25-degree range. That's what I did for my setup. Alright, so the weight of this drone is coming in at 357 grams. And the motor distance is 226 millimeters. So I think that covers all the specs. 2mm top plate, 2mm bottom plate. Pretty standard stuff there. You got a 3D printed part here in the back that holds your VTX antenna at an angle. And then this particular model has an XM Plus receiver. And then the antennas are coming out of the back like so on this 3D print here. That was all pre-installed from the factory, and then there's the receiver there. I think Crossfire version might be available, because I think this 3D print does have the print here that could hold the Crossfire antenna, but I'm not sure if it's available at all places. I think maybe just from HGLRC. Now, this did come with an older version of Betaflight, like 353 or something like that, something really odd. It looked like just like a basic flash without any settings and no PID tune, and I did try and fly it on that setting, and it didn't fly so great. So I just went ahead and flashed it to 4.1 with default PID tune. Didn't change any of the PIDs, and just set it up with my transmitter, obviously beyond the receiver. And so what you're seeing in the flight demo is completely stock Betaflight 4.1 flash to this, and I am using the 32, the ICM gyro on this one, not the MPU 6000 gyro. Flies really well, nice and smooth. Actually, I was pretty surprised at how well it performed on just completely stock Betaflight PIDs from 4.1. So I've been finding that pretty much anything I put 4.1 on lately, without making any kind of PID changes at all, just flies. Whether it's a 5-inch, 3-inch, tiny whoop, everything just seems to work pretty good. So yeah, it's kind of nice that you don't have to mess with PIDs anymore. And it seems like as long as your builds are pretty decent. So this one looks like a pretty solid build, and I think that's why it flies pretty good. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on about this, so let's go right to the flight demo. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Alright, so just getting a feel for the tune. This originally came with like really old version of Betaflight, like 350. It did not fly good out of the box. Why you're not seeing that flight? So this is Betaflight 4.1. Betaflight 4.1 default PIDs. Didn't change anything, just flashed it. I figured I might have to do a little bit of tuning, but don't hear any kind of prop wash oscillation. Really smooth, actually. I really got to get some better 6S batteries. Anybody want to send me some 6S batteries? Video is nice and clear. This camera is like is HGLRC branded. Kind of an unusual picture. Didn't see anything like this. It almost looks overexposed out on the horizon over there. Actually, it does look overexposed. And actually, the image does look overexposed. Just flying the default settings. I think I would probably want to change the feed forward just to tighten it up a little bit on the stick feel. It's a little loose on the stick feel. Not running a whole lot of camera angle right now. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. I'll have to see what the GoPro footage looks like, but yeah, I'm liking the way it looks. Pretty good. Pretty good video. I'm only running 25 milliwatts. I'm not sure what kind of an antenna they're using these days on the new HGLRC antenna. One that I haven't seen before. A little bit of bounce back there. Yeah, I'm running at the end of the battery already. About 3 minutes, 50 seconds of flight time. 4 minutes of flight time, not too bad. What do you guys think? So if you guys do get this on 3.50, I recommend upgrading to 4.1. I did recommend this to HGLRC that they use the latest firmware, so hopefully they'll do that.